Ok. Alors, let's see if I am live, and I think I am live. I feel I'm starting the lives all the time the same way. I'm like, am I live? Is it sharing? But yes, it's sharing. Hi everyone. Hi. Like as usual, we're just gonna hang out and we're gonna talk about a subject about color grading. I'm just gonna wait for a bit more people to join the live, so then it's a bit better in terms of interaction with the chat. But it's cool to just take some time and talk about DaVinci Resolve, and also like for this case, you know, the future of color grading and AI in all this. I saw that Alphas is you know, watching the live pretty late. So Alphas, you know, if you need to go to sleep, it's okay. You know, I say hi to you on the replay of the live. Oh, Alpha Ops. Hey Frenchie. So hey Alpha Ops. I love your nickname. It's quite nice. Yeah, let's just wait for a bit more people, and let's just start the live. Yeah, and for people that are watching the live, where are you from? What time is it at, you know, your place? Because I see that Alphas is very late at night. Is there anybody that is very late today in terms of time zone? Up. Right. New here and new editor for Alpha Ops. Cool, cool. That's exciting. I mean, it's great to always start new things, and you know, like as we say, this is still the beginning of 2026, so new year, new me. So I think it's gonna be great. You're gonna have a lot of fun in your editor journey. Issam, salut Chloé. Yeah, so we have our Frenchies in the chat. Fun. Okay, Ferunkius, you are 1 p.m. in Florida. Florida or Florida? How you say it in English? I always have a doubt on how to say Florida. I think it's Florida. Maybe just correct me on my English, because you know the French is coming out quite a lot. Yeah, cool. 1 p.m. That's nice. I saw you on the ResolveCon conference. Oh, cool. Yes, yes. The one I've done about color grading commercials. It was really cool, and I'm doing ResolveCon also this year. So yeah, I see you on at ResolveCon for this year too. Okay, okay. So let's just start slowly, and let's just warm up about the subject, because so why I wanted to do this live, it is mostly because I posted a video about how to how to match my real shots with AI shots, because I had a campaign for an ad where I had some IRL footage. Sorry, I got some IRL shots, and I needed to match it with some AI shots, so fully AI generated shots. And so I've done the tutorial about this on my channel, but it's just a tutorial. I didn't take the time to tell you really my opinion about generative AI, what I think of it, and if it's good or bad for the industry. And I was just thinking that, you know, doing it in a live, it's cool because we can have interactions in the chats, And it's not just me doing a video about AI in the filmmaking industry. It's more like an exchange that we have, and we can debate about it. So that's about it. Actually, that's why I created this live. Also, of course, also if you have any questions about Resolve, about color grading in general, you can ask them. It's also a live where if you have questions that are not related with AI, cool too. But it's good if we stay on the subject of AI. So, just to start the conversation, I'm gonna tell you what I think of AI, and what I am inclined to like in AI and completely dislike in AI. So, for the background, my background, I worked in AI. So, I was more than 8 years ago, I think, yeah, it was 8 years ago. I was working as an AI consultant. So, that was before the whole democratization of AI and all the growth of AI, etc., etc. So I have a point of view of how AI was before the whole trend came out, and everything was so accessible, etc., etc. So what I think is that AI, when it's just a utility tool, when it's an AI that is technically rule based, is a good AI in the sense of like it's more a tool than actually a machine that will create everything from A to Z, and that actually can be very useful for our workflows. So, for example, right, we have AI already in DaVinci Resolve. In the sense of like you have AI in the Magic Mask, you have AI in Depth Map, but these AIs are more utility based because they won't do the work for you. I mean, like they won't actually grade the entire image, and do an interpretation of the grade. You still have the creative power inside your hand, but they will avoid you a very tremendous amount of work to, I don't know, rotoscope a character, to I don't know, just separate some elements in the frame. And for this, it's great, it's lovely, and I think that it helps more than actually it handicap the industry. So I want to point out something, and this is the arrival of generative AI in our industry, in the sense of like now I'm receiving some jobs where I have generative AI inside my timeline. For my proper, like for my opinion, I don't like this because I find that generative AI is an AI that actually is doing the whole work for you, and you are not thinking, you are not putting any effort inside. I'm sorry to say, but typing a prompt is not the same as learning a craft and working on your craft. You don't have the same fulfillment, and also for the viewer it's not the same experience. This is my opinion. But the reality is, now in our industry there are a lot of timelines that are coming where we're gonna have a mix of real footage and generative AI footage. And that was super interesting because in the comments of my last video, I had Sven from Noir Grade that actually point out something, and I find that very interesting, where he was telling me that, it's a brand that actually is generating their product as with an AI. So then like we are not showing the real product in commercials. But the problem with commercials is that it always has been this way, in the sense of like they always, every brand I worked with, when you receive the footage, they always faked the product. It's never the product that you have, that you buy in the store or that you receive, at the restaurant. Because, like, for example, for food, they would just, let's say, if it's a brand for fried chicken, they would fry so many chicken, and then in the bucket of 50 fried chicken, they will just like salt all the chicken and maybe take five five four five pieces of chicken that looks perfect, and the rest they just put it in the bin. And also, to achieve the result of the perfect drumstick of fried chicken, therefore they will also put some stuff on it that are not, I don't I don't want you to eat these things. So, for example, they would put some glue for the chicken to not move on the turning table, or this kind of stuff. So there are a lot of props that are used, and there are a lot of makeup that is used on the products that actually don't make the product authentic anymore. And also, in the grading process, we try to enhance the product, and therefore we don't have something authentic in the frame. So it's quite funny, because therefore I sat and I started to think, and I was like, yeah, actually, commercials, they never been transparent, and they never been authentic with the viewers. So this is actually a natural way of, just the natural way of things. They're going to use generative AI, because now, instead of trying to make their product look good with a crew, they will make their product look good with actually an AI, where they can just change the prompt and something like that. So terrible. This is terrible. For me, I don't really like it, because also, in terms of workflow, it messes up all my workflow, in the sense of, like, now we have a bit too much democratization of AI. And so now we have also the problem of the client being able to do the changes by themselves, in the sense of, like, if you are a post house and you are doing some generative AI for a client, when you are doing your generative AI, maybe the client will be okay with the generation you have done. Therefore, it will go to the colorist, but maybe they would just change their mind and be like, oh, actually, we need to change the shot, because there's this, and this, and we want this angle and this angle and this angle. But they think that the post house just need to remake a prompt and regenerate the footage for it to be done. The problem is that I need then to stop my grading for this shot in particular, wait for the post house to regenerate something, wait for them to have the approval of the client to regenerate this thing, and then when the generation is approved, then therefore they would send it to me. And this, because now the client knows that actually, if, for example, the post house is not doing it, they can do it themselves, is just allowing so much back and forth that actually was taking me so much time, because I was just waiting around. So this is a real problem. I would say this is really, really problematic, and I just worry about the industry in the future, in the sense of, like, for me, we need to have a proper workflow. First of all, a proper workflow with AI, and I need to show you guys the reality of things, which is we're gonna have more and more AI generative shots in our timeline, whether we like it or not. Because the problem is, like, if you are like me and you are a commercial colorist, you don't really have a choice of shots that you're gonna have in your timeline, right? So that's about it. That's about it. That was a bit of my rant, but also why I then done this video for you guys. It's really to start to give you some weapons. I mean, to give you some tools to actually handle AI generative shots. Because for me, when I received for the first time AI generative shots, I was quite unsettled, um, emotionally, because I mean, like, I'm against this. But also, I was unsettled by the fact that it's not very malleable footage, in the sense of, like, of course, there are a lot of flaws. You could see in my tutorial, like, the AI generation is not perfect, that's for sure. But how, like, what is the biggest challenge in color grading is that how do we make it even more realistic for it to blend with other shots that has been shot in real life. So that's what was my thought in this kind of video. So yeah, that's gonna be that. And I really hope, and I know that maybe some of you don't believe this. I really hope that the bubble will burst. You know? Okay, let's see what the chat is saying, because I've just talk, but I didn't check the chat. Maybe I'm a bit too passionate about this subject, because it's an emotional chord, I would say. I mean, I've seen AI from the inside when I was working as in a corporate job 8 years ago, and yeah, that's. I don't really like this world. I don't really like it. So yeah, that's why. Um. Oh, hey Rafa, how are you? I use Copilot and Ecosia AI, but I use them as informational AI rather than generative. Even when Copilot has generated images, only one was really perfect and the rest required further editing. Yes, exactly. So, what I find is a real flaw in AI right now, and I don't know if they're gonna fix it, and I don't think they're gonna fix it, because um, I also find that all these AIs are, like, run by tech bros more than artists. So I think what's gonna, like, the real flaw is the fact that the AI will generate well a shot, but the problem is that if, for example, you want to generate a whole scene, the AI doesn't really know its environment and doesn't really know where it is. So, for example, um, you're gonna feed some images to the AI, and the AI would maybe see a fence in the scene. But if, for example, there's like a traveling of the camera, and you're going to another side of the environment, the AI would maybe make the fence disappear, because the AI doesn't really think of the environment as we would think of an environment. I mean, like, what the AI is doing is that at each generation, it just try to figure out, like, what's inside from zero, actually. So so that's why I think it's going to be very complicated to have some consistency with AI. It's great for slop, don't get me wrong, because, like, for slop, you're not really attentive of what's happening in the frame. But for things that are a bit more cerebral, like a movie, it's gonna be really hard, actually, to generate a full movie with that, because you will need to take care of so many details that actually the AI won't be such I think, like, won't be so keen on on correcting, because each time you want to correct something also with AI, then it would do a whole new generation, instead of just correcting, like, something in the frame. So that's why, like, I think there's there's a real limit to AI generation. And I would say that like most of the time, you would use AI generation to save money, but I would I would also say that if, for example, you are working for a big studio, I would suggest that actually just shooting the scene would cost maybe less time and less money than just doing generations, because generations are not perfect and you always have to change until you get the perfect image. But it's kind of like rolling the dice, you know. Um, Gonna, I have already seen AI generated commercials. They look absolutely terrible and are full of mistakes. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we. Okay, Rafa, I don't think we should judge AI based on how bad good it looks, but rather for the fact that it's something that doesn't have any value in the real world. Yes, it's just an amalgamation of pixels that don't represent anything that happened in the world. No acting, no lighting, no decision, just a prompt and a CGI output. Yes, exactly, exactly. I completely agree with you. And also in the long run, I don't know how AI is going to make money for just the generative AI in terms of generative images and generative videos. I don't really know how it's going to make money over time. And I think it's going to be really expensive subscriptions if it wants to stay alive. So I think, it's not going to be as cost efficient as what it is today. Um, Thank God I'm moving away from the commercial world. Yes, yes. I think it's good for the moment. I think commercial world is good because they're still good people. But it's just that there's gonna be some jobs now that is gonna be entirely generated by AI, or that's gonna have AI generated footage inside. So what I think is good for everyone, for people that are like me, that are working in commercial, that are a bit more focused on commercials, I think what is good is that, yeah, learning how to match these generated AI footages inside the timeline with, for example, ARRI shots or Sony shots, because I mean it's really important now to sell, to the client, that they can integrate any shots that they want inside a timeline, right? Um, Alpha Ops, what are AI tools should a video editor be familiar with? Uh, I don't really know. So to be really that transparent with you, when I was doing a lot of editing, it was maybe 5 to 4 years ago, and so AI was not at all where it is today. But I also believe that if you want to be a great editor, learn the tools first, and don't rely too much on AI, just because in case AI is a whole bubble and it bursts, you're gonna still have jobs after the whole AI bubble burst. So I would suggest that you learn how, of course, to edit. So be a good editor. So learn the rhythm of cuts. Always work with music, because for me, when I build my editings for other projects than YouTube, because my editing in YouTube is pretty bad, like in the sense of, like, I'm just cutting off my hesitations and I'm just cutting off the blank, so there's not a lot of stuff to do. But for you, I think what is really important is just learning how to recognize rhythm in music, therefore, have the perfect cut points in the music. So yeah, build your music first, build your sound design first, and then after put your shots in it. And of course, learn how to make some transitions, learn how to make some motion graphics and etc etc. But I really believe that what you should be good at is the rhythm and how your shots are flowing into the timeline. So for me, it's what makes the difference between a good editor that would just cut a video and you would have actually nice shots in the video with nice transition, to a great editor where actually the whole timeline feel like it's just flowing with no problem between the shots and between the music and the sound design, and everything feels cohesive with a real story inside the edit. Agents agents will yeah, okay, rich brainless say agents will color grade soon. I don't think so, because I still believe that what's and what was happening with the what I was saying earlier is that the AI is always generating things. So even if, for example, you are saying to the AI, generate me this scene, like for this movie, the AI will always generate things in between the shots. So that means that each time each time the AI is going to another shot, it will generate it to from zero. So it doesn't really have that much consistency. Of course, there's more consistency than before, but now we see that there are a lot of details that are still missing. And so then to come back to color grading, I think then we will still need a human eye at least to control. But I really believe that the color grading and the color grading jobs are not going anywhere, because right now, if you think of it, and that's a bit sad, what's like the position in the post-production that are the most impacted by AI right now are editors and VFX, but the colorists are not really touchable with it. And I also feel it's because color grading is first of all pretty niche. Second of all, it's also something that is very subjective. Even if you have some color science that are coming in, where you have some techniques and some technicals to know, color grading stay pretty subjective. And so then I find that they try to make you buy into, oh, you can color grade any shots, where, for example, if you shot it during midday, you can transform it into sunset, or this kind of stuff. What I saw was just with still images. It's way easier to do it on a still image than actually a full video. And also, the problem with full video is that you can have actually your shot, but the AI would maybe generate more shit inside the shot. So then that means that, for example, you just want a sunset, like you shot you shot your shot, and it's beautiful, it's nice, but it's midday and you want it sunset. You just have two characters in the frame, and so you put it in the AI. The AI would make maybe a sunset, but maybe would add a cat, or maybe would add birds, and it may be something that you don't want at all as a director, in your frame. So I think that it's something that they can't really do, because you still need to stay very true from the image, because what we do in color grading is only affecting the colors. We are not adding anything in the frame. We are not VFX artists, right? So that's why actually our job is not touch, right? So first of all, that's that. And second of all, right now, the AI doesn't really understand what is color relativity. So the AI would put dumbly the colors from a reference frame to your frame, but then it's just like quite dumb in the thinking. So having the human eye is also having how the brain is interpreting colors inside an environment, and this you can't really reproduce, like you can't really reproduce it, because um, it's very, so first of all, it's very subjective from one individual to another, and second of all, it's actually just an interpretation of your brain of images. So yeah, it's very hard to put an algorithm on it. It's like trying to put an algorithm on, trying to mathematize emotions, but not like strong emotions like sadness or joy or something like this, where it's actually a bit predictable, but emotions that are a bit more subtle. I think it's impossible because it's something that are so, it's so, first of all, personal to people, and also, I mean, it just depend on which individual you are talking to and which culture you are talking to. So that's why I think it's something that is very difficult to put in an AI, and I don't think that the AI would ever actually be able to reproduce that. But there is also a worry that I have about the AI, is that because the AI is flooding social media with all these ads for X field, or for all these brands that are crap. I'm sorry to say, but for example, like, to be really dead transparent with you, Xfield is sending me so many emails for me to actually show them in a video and have a sponsored video. Just imagine how desperate you can be to actually go see a colorist that have, I mean, honestly, guys, I'm only having 16,000 subscribers, 16.5 thousand subscribers on YouTube. How desperate you can be to go to see a YouTuber that is not so big on YouTube, and just ask her to push for your AI, in a video, when actually my job is not at all, useful. I mean, like, I don't use AI generative shots, so that's why it's very odd. And then therefore I'm just thinking that maybe, they are losing a bit of money, because they need me, for example, to do the promotion of their product, maybe, but they are quite adamant about it, because they send me a lot of emails. So then to come back to what I was saying, my worry is that people are a bit more people are just used to slop, and therefore the what is aesthetically pleasing is shifting in the mind of people, and therefore they would just be attracted to what AI generate for them, actually. So that's really my worry, where the perception of aesthetic will shift to something that is benefiting a bit more AI generated footages. Okay, let's see. What do you think about change the theme as coloring and create the whole mood for it instead of the depth color grade? I think I don't understand the question. What do you think about change the theme as coloring and create the whole mood for it instead the depth color grade? I don't think I understand the question. If you can just rephrase it, maybe I would understand it better. I feel that generative AI is in its decline. Even in China, they are losing the ingest. Yes, I think that also there is a fatigue from people, and maybe we are actually maybe at the end of the slope, and I wish actually. um yeah, Rafa was saying, remember when Artlist was a good website? Yes, yes, that was the sweet times, the sweet times. A little late to the party, but I had company reach out and offer me a 6-7 grand for rights to use my videos from my channel to train the AI. I denied it. Yes, thank you. I think it's very important to actually not let them pay you money for your footage to train the AI. Just like, because, I mean, of course, like, first of all, it's your intellectual property. It's your IP. Sorry, it's your IP, and also, I just find that, like, you are selling these shots to them, but they can just use it forever, and you don't know where it's gonna be generated, and maybe you're gonna see something very similar of your work somewhere else. I don't think it's good. I really don't think it's good. I mean, for society in general. Okay. Yeah, a bit of a rant, but I mean, I'm very. I think, like everybody, I'm just feeling very fatigued and very tired of receiving, first of all, so many proposition of uh, companies for me to push their AI in videos. Because, I mean, like, first of all, I'm a colorist. I don't have anything to deal with generative AI, and also, I'm sorry to say, it's terrible for the industry. That's I'm still standing on this ground. Yeah, and I'm just thinking that most of what is generated is not such good. I mean, of course, like Rafa was saying, don't debate on the good quality or the bad quality of AI, but I just also feel that it really normalize the bad quality. I really feel that, for example, now, before it was existing, the filmmaking that we had out of social media was not so great, but there were quite a lot of good stuff happening on social media. But I'm just thinking that now, with generative AI, everyone is just generating whatever they want. But now people are getting so pumped into a film that, I mean, a film like a video of maybe 2 minutes that has been generated with AI, but with so many problems inside, with so many issues, with a look that is so plasticky, a story that doesn't make any sense. And I'm just worried that actually people get used to that. So that's my real fear into this. Rafa, has AI made you reconsider your path going forward? For example, I used to be a hermit, but now I'm going a lot. I'm going out a lot more to shootings, and I'm accepting more and more on set jobs in the documentaries, because it makes me feel like I am still a filmmaker. But as you say, dealing with AI moving forward seems like a big no-no for me. Yes. I don't know. I mean, like, for you, it's great that you are looking for more human interaction, and it's lovely. I just feel that maybe it's comfortable for me. Maybe it's a very comfortable position. It's very hard for me to uh, go outside of color grading and do something else. Of course, I'm having other projects next to color grading, but I mean, you guys know me. I'm a colorist. I'm working for commercials, but also now I'm trying to transition to features. But I, as a hobby, I have the YouTube channel. So it's kind of like trapping myself into one identity where I'm just, the colorist. I like this position. I'm not gonna complain about it. But for me, it's very hard to take another position, for example, on set, or etc. etc. Also because I for many years I was doing a lot of positions in shootings, where I was a PA, where I was DIT, where I was an editor on set, etc., etc. So I also know, like what is the dynamics on set, and I prefer to be at home. So that's my preference. So AI didn't really make me change about that. What AI made me change is maybe owning a tiny bit more what I think. Even though like this kind of talk, this kind of live can be heard by some of my clients, and can affect offend some people. I don't really care. just because this is something that is true to myself, is true to what I think, where I really think that actually AI is more destructive for the industry than actually helping the industry. But I'm still moderate, because I mean, this is right now, because it might change later, it might change in the future, because I mean, like, we are seeing also a fatigue from the public. But right now, I feel like I'm a bit moderate, because it's also the reality of the job, where I have to grade anyway AI generated footage, even if I'm against it, and even if I don't like it. So that's also the perks of the work as a colorist, is that sometimes you get footage that you don't really want to grade, but you have to grade, because at the end of the day, it's a job, right? um I think AI will be on shot matching to make grading faster for TV show. Yes, I think that if, for example, AI is a tool to get a shot match that is a quality shot match, in the sense of, like, it can give you a good base to after do your adjustment on top of it, when you are grading a whole documentary or whole TV show, etc., etc. I think it's good. The thing is, for example, Da Vinci has the shot match clip. It doesn't really it doesn't really make good images. I find that it work one time on 20. When I have shots, sometimes I just try. I'm like, oh, let's see if that works. It doesn't work. So I think that if, for example, they can change that, where we have a better base for shot matching, and it can have a good incidence on the workflow, and the productivity and the efficiency of the color grading, why on the documentary, or on a TV show. I think that would be great, that's for sure. um I think AI is changing the world, not in a good way. AI is taking away the weapons we have to fight against. Weapons, I mean computer resources and hardware. Yeah, they're getting more expensive. Yes, so I find that there is no real value added, because right now, okay, maybe like when AI started to appear, there was a lot of excitement. Sorry, there was a lot of excitement from people. There was a lot of of energy, that to push AI and etc. etc. But right now, like, we are just suffering from the consequences of all this, where yeah, we have um we can't find we can't find RAM, we can't find hardwares, and I just think that it's a bit of a waste, like, there's so much money that is going to AI, but are a bit wasted in nature. So that's why, like, I feel like I feel I'm coming back to Rafa point, where I don't think that it had any value, and I think that people are starting to realize it also. Um, Also, I honestly believe we're gonna see a renaissance of movies and production with zero CGI or practical effect, perhaps going back to film even more than now. Yes, I agree. I agree. Because also, that's maybe then to come back to your question, Rafa, earlier. What maybe changed in me when I started to get uh, fed all this AI stuff is that my mind and my body came automatically to something a bit more organic. So when I started to watch movies, I love horror movies. I am a real big fan of horror movies. But when I started to just like wanting to unwind, instead of trying to watch a horror movie that was like just a classic production and classic storytelling, etc., etc., I was just watching fun footage. Just watching fun footage all the time, all the time. I had a moment where I just watched fun footage, and I don't know, for me I like it because it's so even if it's a story, right, even if I know that it's actors and all that, it just feels real. It feels like you can touch it. It feels like, yeah, yeah, it feels organic. And so that's why, like, I was like, oh yeah, I think my brain just like craves something authentic, crave like just something that can it can latch on, saying like, okay, that's reality. You see what I mean? So yeah, I completely get your point. um I'm definitely aiming for practical effects when I start making features. Even that perfect Gen AI image I got is simply a prototype for practical effect. Yes, so what Chris is also bringing, I think it's good because AI can also help you to, for example, think of your ideas. So then, like, if, for example, you are trying to do your storyboard and you don't, first of all, like, you want to do a storyboard, but you don't have the budget to pay a storyboard artist, and you are not having that much skill into drawing. Therefore, I think it's good to use AI to help yourself visualize what you want to do, but also to help your teams to visualize what you want to do. So that's pretty cool. But also, if you have budget, pay the storyboard artist, because this is very important. But yes, it's really good when AI is actually a tool, more than actually the machine that would create the entire movie, right? Um, Jono, the value added is entirely on the business management side, proposals, accounting, and searching manuals. Yes, yes, exactly. So it's good for making emails, you know. It's good for planning, but otherwise, for everything that is artistic, I don't see how it can. I don't see any value instead of, for example, the AI magic mask, where you don't have to rotoscope, frame by frame, like you had to do in back in the time. um, but also, like what Chris was saying, uh, it can help you to visualize scenes, and it can help you to think about how to shoot your scenes. So it's cool, but I don't like the fact that it's just doing the work for you. you know it's just that, because also as individuals, just like this is going a bit in a tangent of self-improvement and all this woo-woo stuff, right? But I still believe that if, for example, you don't put the effort in something you do, you would never get the feeling of fulfillment. And so, of course, like, you are generating AI footage, but are you proud of what you're doing? I don't know, like, because I just find that the only effort that you put was to create a sentence, in a text box, and this sentence created an image that actually the AI thought instead of you. You see what I mean? So that's really where I'm coming from. Will colorists have to adapt to vibe coloring with AI in the future, where specific prompts yield better results? Professionals, we have to learn to talk about specific solutions. um I think that maybe it can happen that, as colorists, we will have to work with some prompts. But I also feel that, and this is what we were saying a bit earlier in the live. I think that the access of AI will soon be quite difficult, just because, like, we've seen that for many years, the AI companies are losing a lot of money. And so then I'm just thinking of a business model that actually would give them money, and it's only like a subscription model that would be pretty expensive to run. So that's why I think that maybe it will happen that we won't have to use prompts to color grade our footage, just because the accessibility won't be as great as what we have right now. Um, you can already vibe color now. It's called knowing your tools and being fast with them. Yes. Um, I think, like, what's really important is, for example, if you want to learn color grading, just learn the tools, because it can happen that AI, as we said earlier, is not as accessible as what it is today. And therefore, if, for example, you only rely on AI tools to color grade, you will have to relearn what you were doing with AI in just one click, in DaVinci Resolve. The problem is that you kind of made your brain used to facility, like used to ease, because it's super comfortable to just in one click have something that is okay, in terms of color grading. But when you're gonna switch to DaVinci Resolve and you're gonna learn the tools and things like that, it would be such a tremendous effort for your brain, because you're gonna be like, oh, I can't achieve what I was achieving with these tools like Xfield or Artlist or I don't know what. And so then it's going to be way more complicated for your brain to actually learn a new skill, for example, for color grading, right? So that's why I would suggest just learn color grading the normal way, because it's not a traditional way. It's just the normal way. And so then knowing how to make a color grade by just working in Resolve would yield the best results for you, than, for example, just doing it with AI. And you're gonna see that, for example, when you are having a good knowledge in DaVinci Resolve, when you're going to go to the AI and ask to do the color grading, you're going to see that it will never be the result you're going to achieve by yourself. So that's why and I say that in a positive way. Like, the result you're gonna achieve by yourself will always be better than the AI right now. So that's why I think just learn DaVinci Resolve, and it's pretty cool because DaVinci Resolve has a lot of resources on the internet. There's a lot of tutorials and things like that. So it never have been that easy actually to learn how to use the tool. So if everyone uses AI and use the same prompt, then all looks become homogeneous. I don't think so, actually. Because if, for example, everyone is using the same prompt, you also have to keep in mind that the AI is interpreting it and will interpret each prompt a certain way, because as we said earlier, the AI doesn't really have a consistency, and also the AI between two prompts will learn new things maybe. So that's why you would never really have a consistent result. So if, for example, you are trying the prompt of your friend in, like, when you are color grading, let's say you have a tool that can, where you can put the prompt, and you say to your friend, oh, I really like this prompt, can I use it for my color grading? Oh, yeah, you can use it. When you're going to copy paste the same prompt, it's not going to be the same result, because interestingly the AI will not give you the same result. So that's why it's also problematic, because you will never have a consistency on things. I can see the EU's push for an online ID eventually becoming mandatory in film and TV, where actors and on-screen people might need to verify they're real people. It's already mandatory for a cruise. Yes, that's cool. That's good, actually. Because now governments are are waking up, because also they started, like, because also big companies started to wake up, and now have some lawsuits with AI companies, because they were training their AI model on intellectual property. So that's why I think it's good that everyone is waking up, because I mean, technically, it's been years that we haven't taken any, we haven't taken any actions. So yeah, it's good that it's happening finally. How is using AI for color grading different from cameras that people use automatic mode? It seems to me that there are parallels. It seems to me that photos, videos shot using automatic modes are. It is actually different, because you are still, even if it's automatic mode behind your camera, you are still making the decision to take the photo or take the video. The thing is, with AI, you are not master of the decision, because of course you can put a prompt, and then you can change your prompt if the prompt is not giving you satisfactory, satisfying results. But the problem is that it will always be the interpretation of the AI, and not actually your interpretation, and not what is true to you. But for example, with an automatic mode in a camera, it's not the same, in the sense of, like, you take the decision to record the video, you take the decision to snap the photo, and even with an automatic mode, you can create something that is beautiful. Also, for a viewer, it's not the same, because even if you use automatic mode, but you are showing the photo or you are showing the video, it's a feeling that we have where we are more touched with this photo or video because it was done with a human and with the decision of a human. When you are showing something generated with AI, people have a tendency to now not really care that much because they just know that the AI is interpreting and doing most of the work than, for example, the human creating the prompt. Because I mean, like, it's just technically the AI, working on itself. So that's why I think it's completely different. Um, Perhaps it would be better if AI evolves to the point where we don't rely on prompts outside of DaVinci, but instead use directly within the software at that stage. We could give it specific commands, such as changing a certain color or adding an effect to the background, while keeping the entire workflow inside DaVinci Resolve environment. So, I would say yes and no. I would say yes in the sense of like it could be convenient, but I would say no because um, it is also something that we have to keep in mind in the film industry. You also you maybe will have a project where you need to protect the IP and protect actually the project until it comes out to the public. So let's say you have a movie, and let's say, like, just let's blow it up. You have a Marvel movie. um, Disney would be really, really up your bum to just never talk about this movie and make you sign all these NDAs for you to not, say anything about this movie until a certain date where the trailer is dropped, for example. But the thing is, with an AI, if, for example, you start to prompt within DaVinci Resolve while you are working, you start to prompt things, the AI can see what's happening and then train its AI on what you're doing. Therefore, like, in terms of NDA, you are breaking the NDA because it can happen that there is a leak, caused by the AI. So that's why it's also like bringing the question of protecting the IP and protecting the projects. Because if, for example, let's say, like, your Marvel has been leaked and is now, like, accessible on the internet, the the marketing is all like, now there's no marketing, and the movie won't make as much money as what they plan, for example. So that's why it's a real problem. AI can be a real problem. um Serviceable but are not nearly as good as photographer. Da, 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 da. Okay, true consistency is something AI is failing now. 100%, I agree to that. Yes, I will look down on people that use AI the same way I look down on people that use automatic modes. Ay, 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 ay. Oh my god. The hidden hand effect, where AI results are also shaped by government censorship, industry expectation, and AI generated algorithm, will create a kind of built-in slop. Yes, exactly. Also, there's also the fact that AI is it's bias. It's biased with in function of the company that is supplying the AI. And so it will for example, also push some political messages, or push some ideas that maybe the filmmaker doesn't align with. And so then it can also be difficult, if, for example, you are a filmmaker. Okay, that's a very far stretch idea, but you are a filmmaker and you want to generate your full movie on AI, with AI. I think that's if that happens, I don't think it's gonna be a success. But anyway, um, Therefore, you have to fight if, for example, you don't agree with the political message that the AI is trying to push down your throat. You have to fight this program, and so this algorithm, and so then it's very difficult, and so I think it's a lot of sweat for not such a great result. Um, where automatic mode, I was thinking more of using AI as a adjunct tool in our toolbox to assist rather than the generative use case. Yeah, yeah, okay, yes. So I mean, even if AI is assisting, and this is also what we can say, like there's AI magic mask inside DaVinci Resolve. uh, when, for example, a colorist is using AI magic mask, you will still appreciate the work that the colorist has done, because it's still some work. I'm guessing that if I apply the same logic on an automatic mode with the camera that maybe is assisted with AI, therefore it can be this kind of the same idea, but maybe I don't have enough knowledge on the subject. Um, I hate not having a daily colorist on set. Sometimes I wonder whether it would make sense to build a colorist agent created and fine-tuned by my colorist to talk during production. I still believe that even if you create an agent and you are training your agent off, for example, your colorist, I don't think that the agent will be built for all the situation that can happen on set. That, for example, a colorist will be able to answer you in 2 seconds. So that's what I think, and also something that you have to be careful with is that sometimes the AI are just making stuff up just because they want you to stay, using the AI. Therefore, like, maybe your agent like would just tell you something wrong just for you to be happy and be satisfied with the answer. So that's also what you have to keep in mind, in the sense of like, the AI is kind of biased, because also it will do everything to not fuss you. So I would suggest, and I would prefer that, for example, when you're on set, if you have the contact of your colorist, just send a message to the colorist. Maybe it will be nice enough to answer you, especially if he or her, like if he or she is on the project. I think they would answer you, if you have a question about color grading while you are shooting your commercial or your video. Okay. Wow, that was I'm sorry guys, that was a lot of ranting. Uh yeah, so it's also to set the record straight, in the sense of like, I posted this video to on how to match the AI generated shot with the real footage. Uh, Not because I want to push for AI, not at all. Because I mean, as you've seen on this live, I'm completely against it, against the generative AI. But it's more to really give you tools for what's can happen in the industry. So that was what I wanted to do, and doing this live for you to know how I feel about AI, and just like be clear, because I mean, what I was saying at the very very beginning of the live, for people that were not here, maybe, I was saying that I was I wanted to make this video because I think it's super important, but I didn't want to make a video where I was talking about my opinion on AI, just because I find that it's good to have a discussion together, more than just me telling you how I feel about AI, la 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 la. And of course, like you can comment under the video and I can answer, your comments. But I find that this is such a broad subject that it would be better that if, for example, you had um, a, a remark or something that you could post in the chat and I could answer it directly without me, typing a long text under your comment. Yes. So that's why. And I find that it's also cool to know how you feel about this subject, because to be really dead honest with you guys, um, for people I am with, and for people I am hanging out with, I just find that everyone is either very optimistic about AI or very moderate, like that they didn't really thought of it. And so then it's very hard when you have people that are very optimistic about it, to just tell them that actually you are not at all, in line with what they think. And yeah, it's just a bit of a clash of vision, yeah, let's say. So it's cool also to be able to connect on this subject, with you guys. It's lovely. And I just find that there's also some comfort from this, which is great, because I also feel that this is why I opened this YouTube channel, is so to have a community, like for us to hang out and just like talk about subjects like this. Because don't get me wrong, this is, for me sometimes, I'm better now, but there are some times where I was just scared. Like, I was really scared about how AI would affect the work and things like that. Now, like, I know that the color grading won't be affected as much, because it's still not really affected, which is good. But it's just that for some time I was very scared. So it's nice also to have this with you guys, like to just offload a bit of frustration and a bit of fear, and just talk about it together. I have my tea. Just I'm cozy with you guys, and just like it's cool, because it's also a safe space for me. It's nice to talk with you, and just showing like what's happening also in my mind. um I can't help but wonder if the current state of AI frenzy is similar to the dot-com bubble from 1997 2000s. I think it shake out. Yeah, it will shake out eventually. I think so. I think this is a bubble too. Yeah. Um, when I use Rec 709 100 nits, it feels too dim, so I raise brightness to 70-80% on my 400 nits monitor. I'm still learning, not a pro colorist, so is it okay to do it? Okay, so that's a question about DaVinci Resolve. Wow, let's take a breather. It's cool. When you use Rec 709 100 nits, um, it depend, because if you are not a pro colorist and you are just color grading for yourself, I would say that it doesn't really have an incidence, because it's okay, because it's for yourself, right? I would just say, if for example you have some professional work, or you are editing something professional and you need to do the color grading, I would suggest to put your screen at 100 nits, even if it's too dim for you, just because this is actually the standard, and this is what would give you the best result in terms of preview for your image. So that's why. So for example, the screen that is just right here next to me, I'm using it as a second screen right now, you know, but I'm mostly using it as my color grading screen. um, this screen is always at 100 nits. I never move it if I'm delivering in Rec 709. If I'm changing to HDR, therefore I would change my profile, and therefore my brightness would be way higher. But when I deliver Rec 709, it's always at 100 nits. So therefore, maybe it feels a bit too dim just because your environment is too bright. Therefore, I would suggest to just close the lights, and you're gonna see that actually it's gonna be okay in terms of brightness for your eyes. Hey Frenchie, I'm a beginner in color grading. I have question: when you grade a shot, its length is around 1 or 2 minute long shot, different location. How to match the shot in different locations? So it that's a very broad question, because I also don't see your shots. I can't really get really specific on it. But if you are doing a look, um, what I suggest for you is to apply the look that you have done on one shot, and see what's happening on the second shot with the other location. And then you're gonna see if, for example, your shot is too bright, too dark in function of the previous shot. And you gonna balance. Balance first the contrast. So at first you're gonna try to see what's the contrast of your previous shot, and try to match the contrast of your second shot. And when your contrast is matched, so when you are satisfied with the contrast with your second shot, therefore you can match the colors. Just because when, for example, the eye is watching a video, the eye will recognize the contrast first, and after the colors. So it is very important to match first the contrast, and then after you can match the colors. So after, when you match the contrast, you go on the colors. You just affect the saturation of the colors, the density of the colors, and also the hue of the colors, because maybe the hues of the second shots are not the same as the first shot. And normally, you can have a good matching between the two shots. If it's not matching 100%, it is okay, because what is important is that the two shots are flowing in the video. So when you are hitting play, you are not surprised when you are changing shot, okay? Because if you try to match maybe 100% your shot, maybe you're gonna have a result that is terrible, because you're gonna try to make it, maybe micromanage things in the frame that actually shouldn't be touched, because you are overthinking the frame, and it can make something that is pretty bad, right? So my advice is that match the image, the next image, but don't match 100%. Just try to play the video over and over again until you feel that the first shot and the second shots are one entity, like your brain is not surprised when you go to the second shot, for example. An AI-driven emotional crisis each couple of months never fails to brighten the day. Yes, exactly. I am using MacBook M3 Pro in DaVinci Resolve. I use CST from S-Log 3 to Rec 709 Gamma 2.4 for mobile Insta, YouTube. When I export the video and play on my phone, the shadows look washed out. Solution. It is because your phone is not in Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. Your phone is in Rec 709 Gamma 2.2. So you have a difference between the contrast you can have in the Gamma 2.4 and the Gamma 2.2. So then what I suggest is that either you are exporting in Gamma 2.2 for all your videos on social media, Instagram, YouTube, etc., etc. Or you can export in Rec 709 scene. And so I recommend now the Rec 709 scene because since the last update of DaVinci Resolve, they corrected the gamma shift with the Rec 709 scene when you are exporting from Mac. So then I would suggest just put Rec 709 scene, and then you don't have to bother by changing your gamma with your Rec 709 ever. So then just do that, and I'm sure you're gonna have a pleasant result on your phone. Thank you, got it, my answer. Okay, Rafa, I have to jump out. As always, really nice and fun stream. Thank you very much. But I think that now it's been 1 hour 20. We are talking together. I think that we're gonna soon close the live because it's been quite a lot of rant on AI. You know. Hey Darren, hello. Yeah, you just got home. Oh my god. You have such an adventurous life, you know? So cool, Darren. So cool you could make it. So nice. Yes, it's we are finishing the talk. So if you want to have fun, Darren, you can watch a bit of the replay of the live. It's just like a full life of ranting against AI. It's just that, you know, I've been just ranting the whole time. So it's quite fun. It's like we haven't I haven't answered a lot of questions about DaVinci Resolve. It was way more about you know, how AI is destructive for the industry. How do you start color grading? How do you choose colors? Say complementary or triadic or monochromatic, especially when maybe the colors in your frame don't follow those styles. So there's a lot of questions. So how do you start color grading? So when I start color grading a frame, I would just look at what's happening in my frame. I would answer the questions of is it too bright? Is it too dark? First of all, how's the contrast in my frame? Also, I would ask myself the question, what is the intention of the DP? Because I would receive some shots where there is a certain cinematography that has been done on set by the director of photography. So then if, for example, the shot is warm, I will respect what the DP has done on set, so I will keep the frame warm. Or if the frame is cold, I would respect what the DP has done on set, so I will keep the frame cold. So there's no need to white balance, you know, for example, because the image is already done this way. So I would just like have this in mind. And of course, you know, I would observe what's happening in my frame in terms of art, like in terms of set design, wardrobe, and props. And so then I would go with, for example, if I choose a color harmony group for my grading, I would just choose something that actually is in line with the set design. So, for example, if you don't have anything that actually would initiate a color harmony in your shot, therefore, I would just suggest that don't really brain it too much. What you can do is that, and it really depends on which kind of grade you want to do, but if, for example, you want to do a poppy grade, like a grade where you have the colors that pop out a tiny bit more, just choose few colors inside the frame and mute the other colors, just because it is always very pleasing for the brain to have less colors to focus on, to have less stimulus. Therefore, you know, it's actually pretty counterintuitive. But when you are killing more colors and just keeping few colors inside your frame, it makes your frame more it makes your frame popping more than if, for example, you just saturate every colors in the frame. So I would suggest just just select few colors and just tone down the other colors around. um, Also, if, for example, you go for another kind of look, if you go for an analogous look, therefore I would just suggest just stay natural in the frame, and if you have a color that is a bit too saturated, just mute it. And normally you would have your cone that would form naturally, I would say. Yeah, that would be my suggestion. um, how do you reset your eyes during a color grading session to avoid accommodation? So what I do is that I go for lunch break. you know? So now I go. So what I try to do is that when I have a session, I'm gonna grade, of course, my shot, but I'm gonna have the agency and my client behind me. I like actually to turn to my clients and my agency to talk with them when they have a suggestion or anything like this. So it kind of creates for me mini breaks where actually my eyes can see something else than just the screen. And then, like, when I come back to it, it can feel different and be like, okay, maybe I can rearrange that and that. But also, I mean, I think it's good to just, like, after 2 hours, go out, take a glass of water or something, just chill for a bit, for 5 minutes, and then come back to the room and grade again. But I feel like, for me, the best effect is the lunch break, where I just step out, go for lunch with the agency or the client, and then come back to my grading room, because I feel like, because I go outside and because I have a long period of time without screens. Therefore, when I come back, I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe I missed this, maybe I missed that, and so then it's a bit better, for my grading in general. So I would suggest, like, just just do some breaks, like step out, take some water out, or something like this. But what is the most efficient is actually the lunch break for me. So I would suggest, yeah, do a lunch break at least of 30 minutes to an hour. It's good. And don't do your lunch break in front of your screen. It's good to just, like, have a proper break. I think it's nice. um you may tell us your first experience with your first grading job you landed. Okay, so I see the time, and I think that's going to be the last question. And it's a pretty cool question. My first job, like the first job I landed, is actually a job where I was not only the colorist, I was doing the editing and the VFX. And so this is how I started as a freelance colorist, because when you are starting as a freelancer, people won't really be, I mean, trusting you, because you don't really have a reel, you don't really have a portfolio, and they never seen your face anywhere. Therefore, what I was doing is that I was packaging my editing skills, my color grading skills, and my VFX skills, for me to be a bit more attractive to these jobs. And so then having at least a portfolio that I can present as a colorist, because as I was anyway doing the color grading in the project, I could put it in my color grading portfolio, right? So the job I landed was a job for a pharmacy. That was not a pharmacy. That was a supplement. So that was a supplement, and that was like one of the easiest color grading ever, because it was just like a dude that was in front of a white background with a white, the white medical uniform. I don't medical blouse. I mean, like in French we call that a blouse. So I don't know what's the jacket name in English. But so there was a guy like this and just explaining things about roots and things like that. And so then, like, there was almost nothing to really color grade. So it was just like the skin tone needs to be perfect, the white need to be white, this kind of stuff. So it was quite fun to do it, because as also I didn't have any experience, I was overthinking so much the color grading. I was like, oh, it needs to be perfect, it needs to be so good, it needs to, this kind of stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, there was just a dude in front of a white screen, talking. So I just did a okay job. But in my head, I thought, like, I was doing a blockbuster or something. So I took so long to do my grade and to deliver my grade. But honestly speaking, like, I see it didn't need that long. It didn't need that long. So that was my first job. And so after I became better. I became better than this. Yes. Okay. So it was great. It was great to have this bit of a ranting session with you guys, and also to answer a bit of your questions. So, Saya, I saw your question, and I would answer it to another live. So, what I think is doing one live every 2 weeks. So it's cool to just sit together and just have a tea, talk about subjects in color grading, or in the film industry in general, or if in DaVinci Resolve. I think it's cool. And yeah, if you want to tune in for the next live, I will answer gladly to your questions. So yeah, so cool, guys. Thank you very much. That was really nice, and you have been a real great emotional support for me. Thank you so much. And yeah, I see you next time, guys. And oh yeah, Darren, I see you at NAB in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're gonna be in NAB. So freaking cool. I was about to say a bad word, but so freaking cool. Yes. So yeah, have a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, a great night, guys. I see you next time for a next live. See you. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Yes, bye.